Because although I haven't even had to wait for a full day for my match, in some ways, I have waited all my life. Cassia, my mother said, smiling at me. I blink and look up, startled. My parents stand up, ready to disembark. Xander stands too, and strains his sleeves. I hear him take a deep breath, and I smile to myself. Maybe he is a little nervous after all. Here we go, he says to me. Here we go, he says to me. His smile is so kind and good. I'm glad we were called up the same month. We've shared so much of our childhood. It seems we should share the end of it too. I smiled back at him and gave him the best greeting we have in this society. I wish you optimal results, I tell Xander. You too, Cassia, he says. As we step off the air train and walk towards City Hall, my parents each link an arm together. As we step off the air train and walk towards City Hall, my parents each link an arm through mine. I'm surrounded, as I always have been, by their love. It is only the three of us tonight. My brother, Bram, can't come to the match banquet because he's under 17. Too young to attend. First one you attend is always your own. I, however, will be able to attend Bram's banquet because I am the older sibling. I smiled to myself, wondering what Bram's match will be like. In 7 years, I will find out. But tonight is my night. It is easy to identify those of us being matched. Not only are we younger than all the others, but we are also floating along the beautiful dresses and tailored suits while our parents and older siblings walk around in plain clothing. A background against which we all bloom. The city's officials smile proudly at us, and my heart swells as we enter the rotunda. In addition to Xander, who waves goodbye to me as he crosses the room to his seating area, I see another girl I know named Leah. She picked the bright red dress, a good choice for her because she is beautiful enough that standing out works in her favor. She looks worried, however. She keeps twisting her artifact, a jeweled red bracelet, and I am a little surprised to see Leah there. I would have picked her for a single. Look at this china, my father says as we find our place at the banquet table. It reminds me of the Wedgwood pieces we found last year. My mother looks at me and rolls her eyes in amusement. Even at the match banquet, my father can't stop himself from noticing these things. My father spends months working in old neighborhoods that are being restored and turned into new brats for public use. He shifts through the relics of the society that is He shifts through the relics of the society that is not as far in the past as it seems. Right now, for example, he is working on a particularly interesting restoration project, an old library. He sorts through the things the society has marked as valuable from the things that are not. And then I have to laugh because my mother can't help but comment on the flowers, since they fall in her area of expertise. As an aerodrome worker, oh, Cassia, look at the centerpieces, lilies. She squeezed my hand. Please be seated, the officials tell us from the podium. Dinner is about to be served. Please be seated, the officials tell us from the podium. Dinner is about to be served. It is almost comical how quickly we all take our seats. because we might admire the china flowers and we might be here for our own matches, but we also can't wait to taste the food. They say this dinner is always wasted on the matchies. A jovial-looking man sitting across from us says, smiling at our table, so excited that they can't eat a bite. And it's true. One of the girls sitting farther down the table wearing a pink dress stares at her plate, touching nothing. Don't seem to have a problem. I don't seem to have this problem, however. Though I don't gorge myself, I can eat some of everything. The roasted vegetables, the savory meat, the crisp greens, the creamy cheese, the warm, light bread. The meal seems like a dance, as though this is a ball as well as a banquet. Waiters slide the plates in front of us with graceful hands. The food, wearing herbs and garnishes, is dressed up as we are. We lift the white napkins and silver forks, shining crystal goblets, as if the time to music. My father smiles happily as a server sets a piece of chocolate cake with fresh cream before him at the end of the meal. "Wonderful," he whispers, so softly, and only my mother and I can hear him. My mother laughs a little at him, teasing him, and he reaches for her hand. I understand his enthusiasm when I take a bite of the cake, with rich but not overwhelming, deep, dark, and flavorful. It's the best thing I have eaten since the traditional dinner at the winter holiday months ago. I wish Bram could have some cake, and for a minute I think about saving some of mine for him, but there's no way to take it back to him. It wouldn't fit in my compact, and it would be bad for him to hide it away in my mother's purse, even if she would agree, and she wouldn't. My mother doesn't break the rules. I can't save it for later. It's now or never. I just plop the last bite in my mouth, and the announcer says, "We are ready to announce the matches." I swallow in surprise for a second. I feel so unexpected. Surge of anger, I couldn't get the savor of my last bite of the cake. Leah Abbey. Leah twists her bracelet fiercely, and she stands, waiting to see the face flash on the screen. She is careful to hold her hands low. Although the boys seeing her around City Hall somewhere will only see the beautiful blonde girl and not her worried hands twisting and turning the bracelet. It is strange, however, we hold onto the pieces of the past while we wait for our future. There is a system, of course, to the matching. In City Hall across the country, all filled with people. The matches are announced in alphabetical order according to the girls' last names. I feel slightly sorry for the boys who have no idea when their names will be called, when they must stand for girls of the City Hall to receive them as matches. Since my last name is Reyes, I will be somewhere at the end of the middle, the beginning of the end. The screen flashes in the face of the boy, blonde and handsome. He smiles as he sees Leah's face on the screen, where he is, and she smiles too. "Joseph Peterson," the announcer says. Leah Abbey has been matched with Joseph Peterson. The host presenting the banquet brings Leah a small silver box, and the same thing happens to Joseph Peterson on the screen. When Leah sits down, she looks up at the silver box longingly, as though she wishes she could open it right away. I didn't blame her. Inside the box is a micro card with background information on her match. We all received them. Later, the boxes will be used to hold the rings for the marriage contract. The screen flashes back to default pictures of boys and girls smiling to each other in glimmering lights and white-coated officials in the background. Although the society's time and matching will be efficient as possible, there are still moments when the screen goes black to this picture, which means that we all wait while something happens somewhere else. So complicated the matching, and I am again reminded of the intricate steps of the dance they used to do long ago. This dance, however, is the one the society alone can choreograph now. Picture Shimmer Ray. The announcer calls a name. Another girl stands up. Soon, more and more people at the banquet have little silver boxes, and some people set on their white tablecloth in front of them, but most hold the boxes carefully, unwilling to let the future out of their hands as soon as receiving them. I don't see any other girls wearing the green dresses. I don't see any other girl wearing the green dress. I don't mind. I like the idea that for one night I don't look exactly like everyone else. I wait holding my compact in one hand and my mother's hand in the other. Her palm feels sweaty. For the first time I realize she and my father are nervous too. Cassia Maria Reyes. It is my turn. I stand up, letting go of my mother's hand, and turn towards the screen. I feel my heart pounding and the trumpet to twist my hands as Leah did. I hold perfectly still with my chin up and my eyes on the screen. I watch and wait, determined that the girl my match will see on the screen in his city hall somewhere. There in society will be poised and calm and lovely, and very best image of Cassia Maria Reyes that I can present. Nothing happens. I stand and look at the screen, and seconds go by, and it is all I can do to stay still. All I can do to keep smiling. Whispers start around me. Out of the corner of my eye, I see my mother move her hands as if to take mine again, but then she pulls back. A girl in a green dress stands waiting, her heart pounding me. The screen is dark, and it stays dark. That can only mean one thing.